Well, Jake, here we are. We're doing another college game. I'm getting excited about college football. We have the USF Bulls 6-1 right here in Tampa, Florida. Their only loss to the Miami Hurricanes, heading to Memphis to play the Memphis Tigers, who are 6-1, coming off a very difficult, shocking upset at UAB. What's your initial feelings about that?
Initial thoughts, if I'm USF, I am pissed Memphis lost to UAB. 24.5-point favorites at UAB. But this is a huge game if Memphis is undefeated. USF's coming in, potential playoff spot on the line. A little bit of a letdown from Memphis last week, so hope they can turn it around and get a good game going this week.
Love these two coaches. Both these head coaches are red-hot names in the coaching cycle. Alex Golish right here in USF. He's done a heck of a job. Came here, inherited a 1-11 team. They went 7-6, 7-6. He's got them bowl eligible again, and they are playing their ass off. This is a good football team, and Ryan Silverfield, who was one of Mike Norvell's assistants, he's been at Memphis a long time. First time in Memphis football history they had back-to-back seasons of 10 wins. What's your take on these two cats?
Yeah, two great coaches, hoping there's no distractions with the coaching circus going on right now in college football, so hope they're focused on this game and ready to play on Saturday.
You know, you look at this American Athletic Conference, our friend Tim Pernetti's the commissioner. We've had Tim in here, and I don't understand the playoff format. Maybe the fans do out there, maybe some of you are like me that don't. But this game does have playoff implications, right?
100%. If USF wins out, they are going to get in the college football playoff. They will be the highest rated non-Power 4 conference champion in the country. They're the only non-Power 4 team in the top 25 right now. USF wins out, they beat Memphis, they beat the rest of their schedule, they win the American Conference Championship, they will be in the college football playoff. Memphis's road's a little tougher. They've already lost the conference game. They win the rest of their games, they get in the big dance, they win their conference championship game, they may be the highest rated non-Power 4 team and get the auto bid as well. So this is a huge game, playoff implications. But this game depends for USF season for sure, and Memphis to have a chance at the playoff the rest of the way.
See, the more you talk about it, the more confused I am. I like the American Athletic Conference, man. I mean, Arkansas lost to Memphis. That's an SEC school.
Yep.
Florida Gators lost to USF. So these teams have proven they can duke it out with anybody. Both coaches deserve a lot of credit. Memphis has a lot of advantages going for them in this series. They've won 10 straight home games. They've beaten USF 4 straight times, and they've beaten USF 7 out of the last 8 games. Matter of fact, last year, Memphis won 21-3. The game was moved to Orlando. Our quarterback, Byron Brown of the Bulls, did not play. He was hurt. And then 2 years ago, Byron Brown did play. Memphis 59, South Florida 50. That game had like 1,200 yards in it. But let's talk about the quarterbacks real quick, because USF, led by Byron Brown, has a distinct advantage over Memphis, because I don't think Brendan Lewis, their starter, he might not even play.
The more I hear about Brendan Lewis, the less confident I get he's going to play. It's a lot of day-to-day, behind-the-curtain stuff, so I feel like the less you hear about him, the worse it is. Byron Brown's playing great ball. Really, really good ball. Big boy, can throw the rock wherever he wants it, and can move.
Well, Byron Brown is one of the best dual-threat quarterbacks in college football. I mean, matter of fact, when Jaden Daniels won the Heisman Trophy in 2023, Byron Brown was the only other guy other than Daniels to throw for over 3,000 and run for over 800. Byron Brown has some statistics that are jaw-dropping. He's 6'4", he's 220, might even be bigger than that. They run direct quarterback, power plays. This guy's a real beast. And the other kid, Brendan Lewis, has 42 starts. I mean, here's a kid that played at Nevada, transferred to Memphis. His experience and his dual threat ability would have been a great battle. But what are you saying he's not playing for? You don't know, do you?
I don't know the answer. I'm just saying, usually when I see day-to-day, Thursday, Friday, leading up to a game, probably not playing.
If he doesn't play, it's true freshman A.J. Hill. Now, A.J. Hill's a big-time talent coming out of high school. He comes in the game last week, first series of the third quarter. Brendan Lewis gets hurt at UAB. The kid comes in, 13 for 25, 176 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. He brings them back. They take the ball down to the 1-yard line. It's 31-24. And you know how I feel about these false starts, man. Memphis false starts twice. They have a delay of game, and they lose the ball game 31-24. You're a young guy. Think about that bus trip home I mean, you lose, you're a 24.5-point favorite. You lose to UAB, who had a new quarterback who had never played in a game, and you got an interim head coach because they just fired Trent Dilfer.
Yep.
You go to UAB and lose to them, what's your mindset?
Silver lining for me a little bit is with the true freshman A.J. Hill, they were in a position to very well win that game after starting off pretty rocky. So you want to hopefully ride that momentum into this week with the kid that's probably going to start in his first college start ever.
And I do think this, Memphis, remember they had Seth Hannigan, who was on Gruden's QB class. Hannigan started 4 years. To me, this might be the launching pad for a guy like A.J. Hill. He does have the potential to be like Hannigan, a 4-year starter. This guy has big-time arm talent. All I've heard about is how mature he is. Can you imagine the crowd in Memphis if this young kid comes out of nowhere and leads them to a win over USF? That's exciting. Both of these teams have very good running games. They both do it by committee. Both quarterbacks, they have designed runs for both. But both of these defenses stop the run pretty good.
Yeah, USF I think has the advantage here with their quarterback Byron Brown being also able to move and do damage on the ground. So I think Memphis has their hands full with the USF running game.
USF versus the Memphis Tigers. Let's get into the matchups. Okay, let's talk about this USF Bull offense against this Memphis Tiger defense. USF's offensive coordinator, Joel Gordon, has done a nice job, man. I mean, since they lost to Miami, the Hurricanes beat them. Okay, I give you that. But since that game, they've been averaging 57 points a game, man, like 560 yards. They're a freaking buzzsaw.
Yeah, they're playing really, really good football right now, scoring a lot of points. Again, a lot of credit goes to Byron Brown, but Joel Gordon's doing a hell of a job.
And then Memphis's defense, their defensive coordinator, Jordan Hankins, he's got a whole new defense, man. I mean, they got a couple guys back, but I go through the list of players. As I said earlier, Memphis has 78 new players. A ton of these guys come out of the transfer portal, especially on defense. It's a credit to Coach Hankins for assembling a team that's playing this good together, really. But when you look at Byron Brown, like you watch him, we've seen him. We know this kid. We've met him up at USF at our QB class. Give fans a take on what you see.
Yeah, you said 6'4". He is for sure not 6'4".
Yeah.
He's about 6'6", probably getting close to 250. His legs are the size of my torso. So he's a big boy. He can really move around. I gave him a little bit of a Joe Milton comp a little bit where he can throw that ball 70 yards at 70-yard speed. The short to intermediate throws, he's still throwing it 70 yards at 70-yard speed. So maybe a little more touch on Byron Brown's throws, but overall, big body, can move, and can really throw the ball wherever he wants.
Great young guy, great leadership. He's a goalish guy, man. He's 1-11. He's on that 1-11 football team. I'll never forget this. They're losing. They're not playing good. They get all their quarterbacks hurt. They put this kid in a game, Byron Brown. And he played his butt off, man. And Golish saw that. Golish saw something in this kid and has really built his whole team around him. They have a proven like GPS that has this guy timed at 23 miles an hour running in a game. So this is a big cat that can run. He can run you over too, as you said. He benches 300 pounds. He squats 600 pounds. He can roll. And he is such a competitor, man. He leads the team. He has 99 rushes, man. The next available rusher has like 44. So this is their number one go-to tailback. He throws the ball extremely well, 63%, almost 1,700 yards. And when you look at statistics, let me give you a couple on this guy. He's averaging 310 yards of total offense per game. That's sixth in the nation, man. That goes for everybody out there. So this guy is a human shred machine. And I did this thing. You remember Malik Willis?
I do, yeah.
Okay, he was a real productive college quarterback. In the last 30 years, Malik Willis and Byron Brown are the only two guys to have 3 straight games with over 200 yards passing, over 3 touchdowns per game, over 80 yards rushing. This guy can do it all, man, and he is, I think, on the brink of taking USF to the college football playoffs. I got to give him his props.
Yeah, and Malik Willis was talked about as a first-round talent.
Yeah.
So this is a big guy that's playing really well at USF.
When you look at the Bulls running game, they got 4 guys that have over 250 yards. You got to really watch the film and see who it is. They have this kid number 15, Alvin Isaac, and the reason I bring him up first is I watched the game-winning drive against the Florida Gators. Guess who caught that screen pass and rumbled down the sidelines? It's Isaac. So obviously they trust him in critical situations. He's got 93 carries, 225 yards. They have 2 transfers. I'll let you kick in on those guys.
Cartavius Norton out of Charlotte, Sam Franklin out of Oklahoma. 2 good running backs that came in and really helped the team out right away.
Yeah, Norton's got 166 yards, 32 carries. And then you look at Franklin, he's got 44 for 275. And how the hell do we not talk about Davenport? I mean, he wears number 25. He's got 42 carries, 236 yards. They can use an assortment of backs, and the misdirection that they use is really tough to defend. But they have a bevy of backs that can really hurt you. And then when they throw the ball, I think there's a key injury for USF we got to talk about.
Yeah, Chaz Nimrod's probably not going to play in this game. I saw him walk around in a boot, so he's a big loss, the Tennessee transfer. But they got a lot of guys on the outside that can catch the rock and make plays.
Yeah, keep an eye on Nimrod, number 2. I'm sure he's going to give it a go in pregame. 20.3 yards a catch, man. 466 yards on 23 catches. They got this true freshman named Keyshawn Singleton. He wears number 11. Now, I get these gloves, right? These receiver gloves.
Right.
I put these gloves on. I guarantee you we don't have any gloves that can fit this kid. He's got to have hands that are this big. He wears number 11. He's got 22 grabs, 365 yards. He is a tough guy to bring down in 50-50 situations. You got to like the freshman.
Yeah, you ever seen Shaquille O'Neal holding the Pepsi can? It looks all tiny. That's how the football looks in his hands with those triple XL gloves.
He's got a great future. They use 2 tight ends. They have 2 really good tight ends. Number 1, Jonathan Eccles, and they have Wyatt Sullivan, number 8. Hell, Eccles has 7 catches, 3 of them for touchdowns. So the one thing I love about Alex Golish's offense is they can run it with a lot of different runners. And when they throw the ball, they've got 7 different bulls that have 10 catches or more. They have 9 different guys that have caught a touchdown pass. So they do a nice job pumping that ball all over the place.
Yeah, and your coach, right? How hard is it to game plan a team that has 9 different touchdown scores and guys with 10 catches and all that stuff? It's got to be way harder than having a go-to guy here and there.
Pretty hard.
Yeah.
So, it's hard to keep players happy too, but he's done a great job of that because everybody's contributing. And then what I love about USF the most, really, is their offensive line. I mean, they got all graduate students, man. These are grown men playing on the offensive line. They're all big. They all have length. If you start from left to right, you got Derek Bowman, Thomas Schrader, who comes in from Appalachian State at left guard. The center's our favorite guy. Cole Best, man. He helps us at Gruden's QB class.
Awesome.
Hey, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, they're handing the ball off to Cole Best.
I love this guy. He wears number 72. And this right guard, number 51, Zane Herring, 6'5", 315. They go to Stanford and get a transfer, 6'7", 305-pound Connor McLaughlin. He's wearing 71. But when you look at the O-line together, they have versatility. Hell, I swear I saw Herring playing left tackle against Florida. So they do have some position versatility. They're balanced, and they got a lot of threats. They're going to be hard for Memphis to stop.
Yeah, it's tough to have a quarterback that can move like Byron Brown can and an offensive line that can really beat your ass in the trenches. So USF's in a great spot the rest of the way, especially against this Memphis team.
And you got Alex Golish down there, and that turbo tempo. It's an up-tempo spread offense. It'll be interesting. On defense, the Memphis Tigers, we talked about Jordan Hankins. I bet he's not sleeping much this week. He's probably staying. He's got a lot of juice. But they have totally rebuilt this defense with transfers. I mean, I go through the notes. I got to be honest with you. Their best player is a middle linebacker, Sam Brunfield. I mean, he comes over from Virginia Tech. Then you keep looking. He's at Mississippi Junior College. He's been all over the place, man. Middle Tennessee State University. So I don't know how you game plan if you're Alex Golish for the personnel of the Memphis Tigers because they come all over the place. But this Brunfield guy, 41 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 8.5 tackles for loss. He has an interception. I mean, and a partridge in a pear tree, man. This guy's a hell of a player. He wears number 3.
Yeah, and I'm glad he left Virginia Tech because I would not want to be playing with my UVA
That's
Cavaliers.
probably why Virginia Tech is struggling. They have another linebacker, Drew Watts. He wears number 7. He's their leading tackler with 42 tackles. He comes to Memphis from Nevada. I think he came with the quarterback. Boy, if I was at Nevada and I lost Watts and Brendan Lewis, I'd be pissed.
Yep.
But, man, Watts is all over the place. He's got 5 tackles for loss, a sack. Both of these linebackers will blitz. They're very active, and I don't think they're going to come off the field very much.
As a coach, your strength of your defense, you'd prefer it to be your linebackers, correct?
Well, you like like to have strengths on all three levels.
Sure, but if you had to pick a unit on the defense to be
I ain't picking
your
unit,
strength,
Jake.
I feel like the middle of the defense is an important piece. That you
Yeah.
want. These two guys are doing a great job.
Yeah, and I think it helps when you rebuild the front, which Memphis did. They only have one returning true player on defense, and that's defensive lineman William Whitlow. He wears number 9. I just worry about Memphis's size. Whitlow's like 6'2", 280 maybe, 270. But when I look at him, he might even be 260. I don't think they have a lot of size to go up against USF's big bodies.
I will caution us to do the exact same thing we did in our Oregon-Indiana preview.
Yeah,
So maybe
that's
size
true, yeah.
isn't all that important in these games like this.
Yeah. I just worry about the size. These are really good players. Do they have enough size to go up against Oregon down after down after down?
Sun Belt versus Big Ten. It's a little bit different, so I'm hoping these guys have what it takes to get through that big offensive line.
They have a couple other defensive linemen that transferred in there. I look at them. They got number 93, this Jalen Bell. He came over from Tennessee State. So what do you got to do? Get the Tennessee State film to learn about him. Then you got to go to West Florida, Kennesaw State film and learn about number 99, Puda Walker. They got a lot of new guys, man, but they're going to be challenged. But Whitlow, number 9, has 20 tackles. He's got a sack and a half. I did see him block a field goal. He has some range, and he's going to be a key guy for them. And defensive coordinator Jordan Hankins, he uses 3 safeties at a time, kind of a big nickel-type defense. And Kamari Wilson, number 24, here's an interesting guy, comes out of Florida, goes to Memphis, transfers to Arizona State, comes back to Memphis. And he's a standout in this Memphis Tigers secondary, 40 tackles. He leads the DBs. He's got a couple picks. He kind of plays the nickel. I see him as a true nickel. They like to use him around the line of scrimmage. They also have DeMarco Ward, who wears number 31. He came into Memphis from Florida State. He's got 38 tackles. Here's a guy in the first 2 games, I think. He's got back-to-back ball games with pick sixes. So you throw in strong safety Chris Bracey, number 5, the Memphis Tigers. They got 3 pretty athletic safeties that can line up against this Alex Golish, wide-open spread multi-formation offense and give them a chance.
Yeah, 100%. And again, a lot of pass catchers, a lot of running backs, great quarterback. Very tough defensive matchup if you're Memphis.
And lock in on these statistics. Now, these are 134 college football teams. Right now on offense, USF is ranked 7th. Memphis's defense is ranked 25th in the country. And total offense, USF is 13th. They make a lot of yards. Memphis is 40th on defense. Running the ball, USF is 16th in the country. We've talked about that. And Memphis does a good job. They're 25th in stopping the run. USF is 43rd in passing, and Memphis has the 80th ranked pass defense. So these are some numbers you might want to crunch a little bit before you do anything in this game. Let's flip sides of the ball. Okay, let's talk about the Memphis Tiger offense. Man, they're fun to watch. This Ryan Silverfield does an excellent job. His offensive coordinator, Tim Cramsey, you got to give him credit, man. When you have a guy like Seth Hennigan for 4 years and you lose him, it's hard to replace him. And they do get Brendan Lewis, a 42-game starter. He gets hurt. Now they got a potential freshman playing, but they do a nice job on Memphis' side of the ball. They do a nice job in Memphis offensively. And defensively, Todd Orlando of the USF Bulls, you can give him credit for getting the ball back. I mean, they've got 17 turnovers, 10 interceptions, 7 fumble recoveries. They're tied with North Texas for the most turnovers generated in the country. 15 straight games, USF has taken the ball away from their opponent. That's pretty impressive, man.
Very impressive. That North Texas game USF played impressed me the most because USF's offense in that first half gave a lot of short fields to North Texas. They held strong. They ended up winning that game by 30-something points. So the defense is playing a great job to complement this awesome USF offense.
We're trying to get everybody excited about the American Athletic Conference, man. These are 2 of the best teams, and we're hoping one or both of them gets in the tournament, man. But anyways, that's another story. Go through the numbers. I want everybody to have the statistics on Memphis's offense and USF's defense.
When you match up, Memphis has the 14th best scoring offense in the country. USF's the 57th best scoring defense. Total offense, Memphis ranks 31st in the country. USF's ranking 82nd. So a little bit more of a disparity there than prior to our USF offense, Memphis defense. Rushing attacks, Memphis has a 15th ranked offense in the country to counter USF's 29th ranked defense. And then passing, Memphis is ranking 83rd in the country, and USF all the way down at 123rd.
In pass defense?
Pass defense, so that's
well,
the
they've had a
weakness
big
here.
lead in a lot of these games, man. So some of these stats are total BS, as you know. But you're 123rd in the country in pass defense. Perhaps if A.J. Hill, the true freshman, plays quarterback, everybody's told me that this guy has a big-time arm. Wouldn't that be something if they lit him up and they threw the ball all over the joint?
And he showed it off a little bit in that UAB game. So look out for A.J. Hill and that big frame and the big arm.
Let's talk about Memphis. You know, one of the things, I studied Memphis a lot last year, this Ryan Silverfield offense, because of Hennigan. They do a phenomenal job in the red zone. Last week against UAB on the last possession of the game, they're at the 1-yard line with a chance to tie it or potentially win it. 2 false starts, a delay game. They lose the football game. That's the first time all year they were held in the red zone. They've been in the red zone 28 times and scored points 27 times, 23 touchdowns. So you're dealing with a very good offensive team that can finish. But they are coming off a season low, 119 yards rushing, a season low, 360 yards of total offense, and they might have an 18-year-old kid getting in the huddle. How would you handle that?
I did watch the UAB game that Memphis played. I was pleasantly surprised at how poised and how confident and how normal he looked, A.J. Hill, in that game. So I think there's a lot to build off of that game. To your point, that last series where they got on the 1-yard line, false started, ran it back to the 1-yard line, false started, delay game. That's a lot of freshman sort of miscommunication, lack of reps. So if they can clean that up a little bit in practice and A.J. Hill does start, he was pretty good.
Well, if they can't, they're going to get their ass kicked. You know, Brendan Lewis, let's just talk about him for a minute. This is a 70% passer, man. This guy, as I said, has started 42 games. He's thrown for 1,400. He's run for 430. It's going to be a hard guy to replace. Now, the confusing thing for me is if you study Memphis's depth chart, Hill is not even the backup quarterback. It's Arrington Maiden. Now, when I'm watching Memphis play Arkansas in an unbelievable win, they beat Arkansas. Arkansas fumbles the ball inside the red zone late. Our friend Brendan Lewis comes out of the game. They put Arrington Maiden in the game. So I don't know who's going to start. It could be number 7, Arrington Maiden. What are they going to do?
I don't know. And Ryan Silverfield this week did say we'll see who has a better practice week. So again, I'm a big believer in if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterback. So I wish Silverfield might pick a guy and kind of stick with him and see how that goes. But as of right now, I'm an A.J. Hill believer if that is who they end up starting.
Let's talk about Memphis's running backs. You know, all the years I was scouting, I still love it. You think about running backs, you can say, you can think of this college or that college. You got to put Memphis in the discussion. I mean, this is where the great D'Angelo Williams went. He ripped my ass when he was in Carolina. I mean, Antonio Gibson, our friend Kenny Gainwell, Darrell Henderson. They've had so many great backs, and now they're using 2 of them. One of them is Sutton Smith. He wears number 5. I give this kid a ton of credit. Last year, opening game, he hurts his knee. He's out for the year. This guy's in a dark room somewhere, rehabbing, working his butt off. The redshirt junior has come back. He's got 480 yards, 6 touchdowns, averaging almost 6.5 yards a carry. And I think this guy has a lot of stuff, man. He took a kickoff back 99 yards for a touchdown last week. And they have another guy. He's a senior, number 13. I love his name. Greg DeWuzier, man. He's got 390 yards, 5 touchdowns. He averages 6.8. Hell, if you watch the Florida Atlantic game, you think DeWuzier is going to win the Heisman Trophy, man. He had 19 carries, over 200 yards. What's your take on these Memphis backs?
Yeah, again, a big part of both these offenses is the ground game. And having a committee that can do that on both sides of the ball is going to be very tough for these defenses to contain the great quarterbacks that they have in the air and also on the ground. So I love both running back committees, and I think that it's going to be a really fun game to watch.
And when they do throw the ball, they have a veteran receiver. And this guy's literally Mr. College Football. His name is Cortez Braham. I mean, he's been in college football for 7 years. This guy has. He played at Hutchinson Community College. I used to recruit there. I love that place. Played at West Virginia, played at Nevada. Now here he is as a star for the Memphis Tigers. Braham is a senior. He wears number 4, 29 catches, almost 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. When Memphis throws the ball, they're looking for Braham. He had 750 yards last year at Nevada. He's dangerous.
Yep, and he came with Brendan Lewis from Nevada. Again, replacing guys in college football now has become so normal. So last year you lose guys like Rock Taylor, who we had in the FFCA from Memphis. Big shoes to fill, so I'm glad that they got Cortez Braham in there with the quarterback connection with Brendan Lewis. Unfortunately, he may not play this week, but having a connective quarterback-wide receiver connection like that is important. They filled in right away. Offense is humming.
Make a note of this. Nevada, you go to Reno, Nevada, and you go get Cortez Braham, Brendan Lewis, and your star linebacker, Drew Watts. They all leave Nevada to go to Memphis. I heard Federal Express did a big NIL $25 million deal. Is that part of it, you think?
I'm sure it is. Listen, money talks in college football now, so wherever that money is, those kids are going to go, and Memphis seemed to be the place for these three.
You know what bothers me is some of these colleges, they lose really good players, and they don't get any compensation. You ever see Let's Make a Deal where you open up that one door and there's a guy on a donkey and the song goes, wah, wah, wah. I mean, you lose those three players and you don't get any compensation. That's hard for me to imagine. But anyways, this guy's a hell of a receiver. The offensive line at Memphis, make a note of these guys. Chris Adams at left tackle, 61. 72, Breland at left guard. The center's number 52, Yakiri Walker. And at right guard, number 70, Parker Mitchell. Right tackle, Travis Burke, number 78. They're going to have their hands full with the pressure and the different looks that Todd Orlando brings.
Yeah, and I watched against UAB. UAB kind of got off their ass a little bit, so they got to get in the film room, get on the practice field this week, and be ready for a big USF front.
We got to get with the snap count. You know, this clapping stuff, we can't have any shotgun starts. They got to eliminate the pre-snap penalties, especially in critical moments, because you're going to have to audible. You're going to have to change the plays. You're going to look to the sideline. You're going to have to use different tempos to win a big game. They can't shoot themselves in the foot with these pre-snap penalties. Let's take a look at USF's defense. We talked about Todd Orlando and the turnovers. You made the point, and it statistically does get your attention. 123rd against the pass, 265 yards a game. What's the reason for that?
You said it. They're up in these games a lot, so a lot of these teams have to throw the ball against USF because they're trailing by 2 or 3 scores. So the numbers may be skewed a bit, and USF's trying to run the clock out. They're trying to control the pace of play, the tempo. So that number, I think, may be worse than what it actually is.
You know, when you give up 265 yards a game passing, I think it really is all 3 levels. I mean, you got to get a better pass rush, a more consistent pass rush. You got to tackle better in space, eliminate some of this yardage after all these bubble screens I'm seeing. But they just got to play better in general. The strength of this USF defense are these 2 linebackers, man. I mean, both of them are grad students. When you watch USF play, you can't help but love number 24, Mac Harris, man. And Jalen Schuler, he wears number 7. These 2 guys are really good.
Have you ever seen the movie The Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
So they have the 2 guys in the second Mighty Ducks called the Bash Brothers. It's Fulton Reed and Dean Portman. These guys are banging people out there. That's who these 2 remind me of. Mac Harris, thighs the size of tree trunks. This guy will get after you. Big personality. And Schuler, a little bit more reserved, a little quieter, but he also gets after your ass. I love these 2 linebackers.
When you look at Mac Harris, you just got to say position versatility. I think he could play inside, outside. Not many guys in the country have made more than 50 tackles, 5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. This guy is a stud, man. Keep an eye on number 24, Mac Harris, and his sidekick. Hell, I think they're like brothers walking around USF campus. This Schuler kid, a couple years ago, led the Bulls in tackles. Like I said, they're both graduate students. They don't take crap from anybody, and these guys ain't coming off the field. I love them. The defensive line, I think, is where Alex Golish and his staff have pushed this program over the top. They added 6 players in the transfer portal. And when you have 6 more defensive linemen come in, you get more size, you get more depth. They have more depth, I think, than most teams have. And it shows up, especially in some of these big games. They've got 4 defensive tackles now that weigh over 280 pounds, and they got 2 SEC transfers, Devin Lee, number 99 from Vandy, and their nose tackle, number 63. He comes in from Texas A&M, this Josh Seliskar guy. What's your take on them?
Yeah, Golish said, defense starts in the middle and up front. So I'm glad that he's beefing up the defensive line. They're playing against Miami, which is really the one team that kind of pushed them around a little bit with a lot of 5-star talent up front. So this defensive line's doing a great job. Again, they're dominating these games with teams that aren't Miami. So that defensive line showing that they can do pretty much anything with guys their level or a little below.
Yeah, when you get 17 turnovers, you're getting pressure on the quarterback. You're getting guys that can really affect the quarterback, and they have some guys up the gut, guys like Celiscar and Lee that we talked about. They also have two kids coming off the edge. This Denard Flowers kid, number 15, who comes in from Arkansas State, Murray State. He's been all over the country. He's pretty good. And number 11, DJ Harris. They got some guys off the edge. It ain't bad either.
Yeah, and credit to the coaching staff for finding these guys. A lot of these kids that play in the lower levels of college football have the talent to produce at this level like a USF or a Memphis. They just need the opportunity, and I'm glad that Flowers and Harris are getting that chance.
Yeah, and in the back end, it's going to be a very important game for safety man Tevin Ward. He's third on the team with 38 tackles. Tevin Ward, he wears number 2. Pass game coordinator, safety coach James Rowe. They're going to have to be ready for this freshman quarterback of Memphis because you know they're going to throw the ball.
Yep, Tevin Ward leading the defense, calling him the quarterback of the defense. So I'm glad that he's again where he is and making big plays for the Memphis or the USF Bulls.
USF, Alex Golish, one of the hottest coaches in the country, against Ryan Silverfield and the Memphis Tigers. He's one of the hottest coaches in the country. Who you picking?
I mean, I don't know if you can tell by my outfit, but I'm going to go USF. I'm going to go USF big. I know they're 4.5-point road favorites at Memphis, but I got USF 44, Memphis 27.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a good pick. Good number.
I love Memphis because I really like this coach. I enjoy watching his tape, but I ain't going against my South Florida Bulls, man. I'm going to take Byron Brown in a big game. This could be one of the biggest games in USF history. I'm betting on Byron Brown and Alex Golish. The Bulls win 45-31. What was that thing you did?
The Bulls. Horns up.
Horns up, baby.